When someone makes the choice to adopt an animal, they're changing a life. But there are times when the animal can be difficult to deal with. This couple realized just that when they brought home their new dog. They thought they were bringing home a puppy, but they got something different. The couple didn't believe what was going on, and their family couldn't understand it either. Until one day when all the puzzle pieces fit together. The Chihuahua Chewy is most definitely special, but his life hasn't been the greatest. Chewy weighed a whopping 4 pounds with an extreme underbite, which made him look a little strange. Unfortunately, because of his strange appearance, the other dogs were picked before him. Finally, a couple walked into the shelter one day and fell in love with him, but they definitely got more than they were expecting. Rescue dogs tend to struggle with adoption for different reasons. A lot of times, pups don't care for being put into a shelter, which can cause them to suffer from extreme anxiety. Dogs tend to deal with this intense emotion a bit differently. They will continuously howl or bark to express their angst, but this can cause people to not want to adopt them. In other words, people don't want noisy animals in their home. But Chewy had a different type of anxiety. Sometimes when an animal is left at a shelter, they become very introverted. They tend to stay away from people and hide near the walls. And this is exactly what happened to Chewbacca. When you combine that with his underbite, Chewy had quite a problem. But he did have something going for him. One thing that made him stand out against the other shelter dogs, he had his age working for him. It may not sound like much, but in a shelter, age means a lot. Shelter life isn't always easy for a pup, especially if they're an older dog. More often than not, they'll struggle with having to leave their homes to go to a shelter. And unfortunately, it's not common for an older dog to get adopted. Sadly, not being adopted is the worst case scenario for dogs. Luckily, older dogs are making a comeback for the weirdest of reasons. Thanks to the power of social media, more people are adopting older pups. Shelters share the posts with older citizens in their community, and people consistently share stories about elderly dogs in shelters. Social media has made it possible for older dogs to make a comeback. But the sad truth is that social media won't save them all, especially those that have anxiety issues like Chewy. And even if they do get adopted, it's not always easy. A lot of the time, it takes longer for rescue dogs to warm up to their new family. But a lot of dogs will fit in with their new forever homes immediately. But if an animal has been mistreated for a long time, it won't be so easy. Dogs such as these require an extra amount of attention and love. It could take them months to get used to their new family, and this can turn people away. Fortunately, it often just takes a bit of patience to get a dog used to their new surroundings. With the right people by their side, any dog can be rehabilitated. As far as Chewy goes, he already seemed to fit in. The couple played with Chewy at the shelter, and they all got along very well. They immediately knew that Chewy belonged with them, but they weren't prepared for what Chewy would dish out. The decision was made. After a few visits, the couple signed the papers and Chewy was able to go home with them. But that's when things got weird. Instead of being excited to see their new home, Chewy began to grow hesitant of his owners. He didn't really understand what their calls to him meant, but with some hesitation, he left the shelter with the couple for the last time. But things only got worse on the way home. As soon as Chewy was loaded into the car, he became quiet. They assumed he would be excited in the car, but he just sat silently. It was as if he was taking it all in, unsure of everything that was going on around him. When the couple arrived at their home, they never expected what they would find. Chewy was hiding something the entire time. When the couple got Chewy home, they understood something incredible. This adorable pup had brought more than they had expected. He brought an exceptional amount of love. All of a sudden, the house was bright with Chewy's love. When they opened the front doors, Chewy understood that this was his home, and they were captivated by his excitement. But Chewy touched more than the couple's hearts. Since Chewy was adopted, he has his own t-shirt line. The proceeds from the shirts are donated to the program that saved him. The nonprofit organization Chiquita Chihuahua Rescue is dedicated to rescuing pups just like Chewy. Their focus is on saving small dogs from kill shelters. Considering that they're a nonprofit organization, Chewy's donations help a lot. But that's not the only thing this dog has done. Chewy has left his mark on plenty of people since his adoption. He even has his own Instagram where he shares pictures of his daily life. He strives to inspire people to adopt other dogs as well. It's amazing how this one dog has changed the life of so many other shelter dogs. Chewy's crooked smile has won over the world, and there's no stopping him now. Chewy's stardom just keeps rising too. People absolutely adore his crazy stories online. And the most important part, Chewy has found his forever home. Every single picture shows Chewy in a loving home, which was something that he never expected to have. From the first car ride to now, Chewy's life has changed forever. But what about the other shelter dogs? Thanks to dogs like Chewy, there are more shelter adoptions happening. Awareness is being raised on the importance of adopting shelter dogs. Most people don't understand the impact we have on dogs until they're adopted and people can see their forever smile. And for Chewy, he'll continue to share the news on social media. If an anxious dog with an underbite can be adopted, any pup can.